For the first time here on Anime Abandoned, we're going to talk about a subject that I've managed to avoid until now. Shonen anime. Though the word basically means adolescent boy anime, the term has come to mean serialized action anime over here in the States, and that was, and still is, Toonami's bread and butter. Though Tenchi and Gundam ran its course, Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, and One Piece keep the machine going, with hundreds of episodes to its run total. I've avoided talking about these anime up until now, mainly because there's no easy way to approach these series and say my piece without winding up with a 2-hour-long episode. With Inuyasha's episode being 2 hours of me going, fuck this shit! But still, there's no use in denying that these were the shows that put the block on the map. So let's talk about a series that was never able to escape the shadow cast by DBZ. Yu Yu Hakusho. Yu Yu Hakusho, literally translated meaning Ghost Files or Poltergeist Report, follows the adventures of Yusuke Urameshi.
Urameshi!
Close enough. He unnecessarily throws himself into traffic to save a kid who would have been fine had Yusuke done nothing. But since no one expected him to act so selflessly, his spirit is caught in limbo. Having been introduced to the spirit world and having no idea what to do with him, Yusuke is made into what's known as a spirit detective, righting wrongs on both the mortal and celestial plane wherever he's needed. The thing that separated Yu Yu Hakusho from other shonen anime, at least the ones that were shown on Toonami, was the fact that Yusuke wasn't really a good guy. He was a teenage delinquent with everything that comes with the label. He wasn't very bright, he was rude, selfish, and prone to fighting, and he never took anything seriously. Thrust into the hero's role, he wound up having to mature and grow as good characters do to protect those closest to him, his barely there mother and childhood friend / girlfriend Keiko. He regains his body, learns to use his spirit power to slay demons, and befriends a few others to help him in the fight. Kazuma Kuwabara, Kurama, and Hiei, who each have their own histories and stories that unfold throughout the series. Also, the series has a weird obsession of naming its characters after in-jokes. Yusuke Urameshi is basically a pun that doesn't translate very well into English, and Kuwabara is basically a superstitious word meant to ward off evil spirits.
Kuwabara, Kuwabara.
Huh. Even when I explain it, it still makes no sense. Well, anyway, a thing that I liked about Yu Yu Hakusho was that it avoided most of the trappings of your typical shonen anime. That was, until the fucking tournament arc. Listen, I know that there have been a bunch of shonen series that didn't have tournament arcs, but they number somewhere in the area of diddly squat compared to those that do. Yes, I get that these are usually action shows and putting on a tournament makes for a convenient plot to showcase fight scenes, but why the fuck do they have to take up the entire season? Eesh. Sorry, I'm just not a fan of shonen. Talking about Yu Yu Hakusho is difficult only in that it's tough to decide what to focus on. There's 112 episodes, so no summation would do the series justice. There are 6 OVAs, but they're inconsequential and don't really add anything. So all that's left are the 2 movies. But Yu Yu Hakusho the movie is just 30 minutes of bullshit, so guess that kind of narrows it down. Yu Yu Hakusho the movie, Poltergeist Report, was released in theaters in 1994 and picked up by US Manga Corps. To this day, it still remains the only Yu Yu Hakusho property that Funimation doesn't own. And yes, the title literally means Poltergeist Report the movie, Poltergeist Report. Rest assured, you don't need to know much about the series to watch Poltergeist Report, the movie Poltergeist Report, because it's basically like every other film based on the Shonen series, featuring villains that will never be mentioned or seen again, and resolutions that would be very helpful somewhere else in the series. Galaxy-destroying cannon! The fact that Purr to Purr isn't dubbed by Funimation hits the viewer hard within the first minute of the film, when we hear Lord Koenma, Yusuke's boss, speak for the first time.
What the hell's going on here? This amount of rain is not normal.
I wasn't completely sold on Koenma's voice in the first place, but this guy makes him sound like an uncongested Bob Dylan. Who is this guy anyway?
It's times like these that make me want to go straight.
That explains everything. We opened with the spirit world being racked by the river Styx over flooding. And if you think I'm going to make a Styx reference, you're just fooling yourself. Damn it!
I'm here! Botan!
Lord Koenma! Lord Koenma!
Quick, Botan! Eric Stewart doesn't have any more water to gargle! Wait, if he's sucking on a pacifier, how is he... Wait! Cartoon! Fuck it, let's move on. Koenma manages to get Botan, the fairy woman that guides the spirits to their final destination, to fetch Yusuke to start the plot, and manages to find him by the skin of her teeth.
Huh? What? Botan! Hey, Botan! What happened to you? Talk to me!
How did anyone in New York City keep their fucking job? I know that I'm used to the Funimation dub, and it's important to keep an open mind, but everyone in this production sounds just horrible. They're either way too melodramatic, or they just don't seem to care at all. Oh my god. What does Kuwabara sound like?
Hey, you mean to tell me you didn't find out any details?
There was no time for that!
You're really not any use at all. I would have found out everything from...
Well, it's not any worse than everyone else. Just not as apocalyptically bad as I was hoping/fearing. So, Kuwabara and Yusuke are running towards a shrine to find someone named Hinageshi, who Botan says is important to saving the spirit world. They find her being attacked by demons, and Yusuke does his business.
Shotgun!
Sit! Hike! God, this dub fucking sucks!
Don't mess with me!
Enemy abandoned now continues.
Hinageshi introduces herself, and the three make their way to Genkai's home with Botan in tow. And to make a long story short, Genkai is to Yusuke what Kinkai is to Goku.
Kurama.
The spirit world, it was gone.
What?
Actually, that is not accurate.
Karama, couldn't you have clarified yourself before you all got up and moved to this room for no reason? You basically told the whole room earth-shattering news, they all took 12 Frady peas, then you let them stew in their own urine-soaked underwear for the entire length of time it took for you all to walk into this room. Then you clarified your statement. The fucking doctor in Arrested Development wasn't this bad.
I'm sorry to say this, but it's too late for me to do anything for your son.
Let him keep talking.
Because Dr. Stein here has already been assigned to his case.
So apparently Kurama visited the spirit world during the chaos that flooded the whole place, and why he wasn't swept up by the maelstrom I don't know, but Hinegeshi suggests that this is plainly the work of the Netherrealm. So basically plot convenient bullshit. Gotta hand it to the movie though, it's got a pair if it thinks it can sneak an entire fucking realm into continuity without setting off my bullshit detectors.
To begin with, above the human world lies the spirit world. The two of them remain in constant balance with each other.
Humans who have died do go to the spirit world.
Right. And the netherworld was originally above and in balance with the demon world as well. Then, several thousand years ago, the netherworld began a war with the spirit world in order to gain possession of the human world. Exactly how we were able to defeat them is still unknown to this day.
Couldn't you have asked King Enma there? I mean, the mural plainly shows him banishing the Netherrealm. Well, either that or he's being left hanging for a high five. And wait, if the demon world is different from the Netherrealm, how is it different? If human souls, regardless of morality, enter the spirit world upon death, then what the fuck is the Netherrealm for? I mean, the demon world I get, because that's where evil spirits reside, but if the Netherrealm not only warred with the spirit world, but also the demon world, does that mean it's where really evil spirits reside? What is its alignment? Chaotic evil? Rebel evil? Lord of the Sith? Ah! There we go again. Putting the slightest modicum of thought into a shonen movie. And that's just not fair. I gotta get myself in the right mindset if I'm going to continue watching this.
Loggerhead knows but one desire. Loggerhead sets his skull on fire.
So Hiei, being the lone wolf slash whoopee heartthrob of the group, pouts on a cliff and decides not to participate with the rest of them, until he spies Kuwabara putting the moves on his sister Yukina.
An unhappy face like that doesn't suit you, Yukina. No. I, the mighty Kazuma Kuwahara...
Kuwabara! Kazuma Kuwabara! How do you fuck that up? I get Kazuma, but how do you arrive at fucking Kuwahara? Jesus, there's a Nept and then there's fucking this! The only reason why anyone would ever want to see this movie is if they were hardcore fans of the show, and I gotta believe that any fan who sees this would shit their own ass inside out at Kuwahara. Well, either that or turn on the subtitles.
So what should we do, Hinegeshi?
Wait, don't tell me! It has something to do with going around Tokyo and finding magical artifacts of some sort.
We have to transmit power to the spirit world.
How do we do that?
Look here. There are places in the human world called elemental sites.
Ladies and gentlemen, Instaplot. Just add heroes and you have got your canned, phoned-in story.
In the human world, there are 5 of these elemental sites, representing the earth, wind, fire...
Fuck. Couldn't resist.
If they are all unsealed, that amassed spiritual power will be sent to the spirit world.
With that power, we would be able to restore the spirit world.
Shh. Just don't talk, Kuwabara. Just don't talk. We finally get a look at our villains du jour as the main course himself summons his minions to him.
Come, my servants!
Whoa! Jesus! Was that supposed to be his bat signal or something? That took out like an entire city block! Oh, I guess it wasn't, because his lackeys meet up at a completely different part of the city. Look, they're nowhere near the wreckage. So did he just take out that strip mall for shits and giggles? Maybe he was just pissed that one of those stores didn't take Discover? It looks like the villains, whose names will be irrelevant in the next 20 minutes, are hip to the elemental sites too, and they appear much faster than Yusuke and the gang.
Oh, it's incredible!
This is no good!
What do you mean, no good?
She means that all hell is breaking loose and Netherrealm energy is pouring out into the motherfucking sky, you shit-for-brains asshole!
Look there! Look at that color! The elemental site has been destroyed! What is streaming out is not spiritual power, but the power of the Netherworld!
The Netherworld?
Those demons are able to convert spiritual power into Netherworld power.
So that's Netherworld power?
What did she just get through saying, Kuwabara? Jesus Christ, did your AHRC guide leave you on the way to the mall?
If they are able to steal the power from each of the elemental sites, then
Yeah, then
the spirit world will be inaccessible forever!
Ah!
And then there will be nothing any of us will be able to do.
I might be going crazy, but I swear I know that actor's voice from somewhere. But where?
Hold it! Get away from that!
Oh, I remember you, motherfucker! Nobody forgets a scream like that! Great, that's exactly what this dub needs. Garzy's wing flashbacks! The gang decides to split up and tackle the remaining shrines on their own. Yusuke and Hinageshi find the fire shrine in a parking garage of all places. You know, you have to wonder how many people go in and out of that garage every day and either not notice the shrine or not care. Actually, why is nobody reacting to Tokyo's shit being ruined by these demons? Like, at all? It was established in the show that the demons are, by and large, invisible on Earth, but their destruction sure ain't. An entire strip mall is decimated by weird purple energy, which is also rending the sky asunder, and not a single fuck is given? Then again, this is a country where gigantic dick tentacles can take out a fucking hospital and no one even bats an eye. I swear, if you want to live in Japan, there are no pants roomy enough for your massive balls. Yusuke is unable to stop the villain du jour from overpowering him and destroying the fire shrine.
Yusuke! Yakumo, king of the Netherworld! But why?
You can't be serious. You have played the exposition bunny up until now, basically explaining that this guy wants to take revenge against the spirit world, and you have the fucking gall to ask why? Well, here's a why. Why are you this stupid? Does nobody in this movie listen to each other? It's like we're hearing normal, albeit stilted words from these characters, but what they hear must be like the adults in the Peanut specials. The other three are experiencing similar difficulties with their shrines, and I will admit that their fights are very well animated and directed. Karama's, in particular, is especially noteworthy as his memories are played around with, and we learn a bit more about him. I wish there was more to it than there happens to be here, but it was a nice touch. On a technical level, this film is really impressive. I just wish that I didn't want to kill all these characters every time they open their goddamn pie holes.
He's totally crazy.
You are all out of energy too. Give it up, it's done.
Enemy abandoned will return in a moment.
Listen to me, Koronaway!
Shut your mouth!
Enemy abandoned now continues.
It looks like the only one who is able to win their fight is Kuwabara, and he just wins the day by landing the most epic uppercut I've ever seen. But his efforts are all for naught when the villain du jour pulls a bitch move and snipes the last shrine, releasing all 5. Hacks! Hacks! So all hell is released and the sun comes up and everything is as usual. I bet you thought we were entering the 3rd act, huh? Fuck you, that was the 1st act. Seriously, what the hell is going on? Why is no one going out of their mind because of the massive purple geyser of blinding light in the middle of their city?
Well then, explain this to me. Why isn't the entire city going nuts?
That's the power of the Netherworld. It has caused the people not to notice things that they normally would have.
Well, that conveniently explains every tragedy we experience as a country. To add insult to injury, the villain du jour goes after Botan, retrieving an artifact from her that is necessary to rebuild the Netherrealm out of the earth, and Yusuke is, once again, too weak to do much of anything. Oh, if you're wondering where this whole artifact plotline came from, it was barely mentioned at the beginning of the movie, and it's basically just a tool to turn Botan into a damsel in distress. The fucking Grim Reaper is a damsel in distress! Fuck this movie. So, Purr decides to throw a pity party for its characters, having them mope about failing to do, well, anything for the entire length of the movie so far. But that's when Yusuke has finally had enough.
You think I'll just let you get away with that so easily? You think you're going to get away from me?
Are you asking for a challenge?
Oh my god. Is he gonna do it? Is he going full Garzy's wing?
Yakuma!
Yes! Yes!
Shut up! Shut up! Shut up!
Was it good for you? The five get serious and decide that for the first time they're going on the offensive. Hey, where have I seen this before? Never thought I'd see the day I get to make a Buckaroo Banzai reference. Checking that one off the old bucket list. From here on out, the movie takes a game of death turn, and everyone gets their turn for a rematch.
Kuronoe.
You know him?
He was a partner of mine at one time. Let me take care of it.
Kurama, are you still against your old partner?
His old partner?
Kuwabara, do you live in your own personal time zone? Kurama's fight, once again, is easily the show stealer of the sequence, both in terms of character development and visual flair. Hiei's has its moments, but the concept of him becoming more wicked as this lackey draws out his latent bad guy kind of wears thin after the initial premise. Although, it does lead to the line read of the movie.
He's preparing for Black Dragon Wave!
Oh my god, we're doomed!
Sometimes the universe takes pity on you and lets you find a kernel of pure corn in a river of shit. Of course, Hiei manages to regain control and win his fight in the most collateral damagey of ways. way, you amateur! You were supposed to topple that building into the adjacent building, not harmlessly into the nearby river. Now, look at this guy. Now, this guy knows how to do some damage. I mean, that was the point, right? But it looks like the team is too late, as the villain du jour has retrieved the power orb and is turning the world into the Nether realm. With Hinegeshi being her hilariously useless self, it's up to Yusuke to put on his big boy pants and save the goddamn day.
Spirit gun! Ah!
And boned.
Of course not. Hinegeshi has to do something and manages to separate the villain du jour from his power orb. Yusuke manages to retrieve it, uses it, and with the help of Kuwabara, Hiei, and Kurama, unleashes the spirit gun to end all spirit guns.
Spirit gun! Ah!
Damn it. That was pretty cool. So, the day is won, our heroes live, and they all live happily ever after. This movie is easy to like, but it's also very easy to hate. If you're in it for the fight scenes, then you won't be disappointed, but story-wise, it's vacuous, character-wise, it's insulting, and dialogue-wise, it's downright stupid. Really, it suffers from many of the same problems as X does, save for the unfortunate incestuous undertones. I'd say that Purr to Purr is a film only for fans, but that dub is just unforgivable. And I can't believe I'm saying this, but if you're gonna watch this, stick with the sub. Luckily, Adult Swim Month is not going to end on such a note, because we have one last title that demands our attention. And guess what? Your many requests have been heard, folks. They have been heard. Till next time.